Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you might find yourself listening to Graffiti Park Radio. We are back again with another exciting episode. You got Dan and Dan.
Hey-o.
And Miss Anika.
Hi. How are you?
Doing wonderful, Miss Anika. We're here with a very special guest for us today.
Mr. Israel Sepulveda, otherwise known as the trippiest of pigeons, Mr. Trippy Pidgy.
Yo, what's up?
What up?
How are you doing today, sir?
Doing really good, man. Glad to be here.
What time did you wake up this morning?
2:30 in the morning,
Oh,
man.
my goodness. Tell us
You
a
got
little
a
bit
kid?
why.
Yeah, I just want to... Yeah, are you a dad or something?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's only one of many reasons why I'm up that early, you know.
I like it.
So
Tell us why. What's
what
going
do
on?
you-
What you be doing in the mornings?
So, I like to say I'm a roofer by day, or I really like to say I'm a part-time roofer and a full-time artist.
Nice.
Love that. Love that, man. So we're going to we're going to go into the artist thing. That's kind of what we do here, but we're going to segue to a brief, roofing tutorial. So how long you been doing that? How
I've
did
been
that-
roofing for 5 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you like it?
It's a love-hate relationship, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So talk us through, because your Instagram has a fun little roofer by day highlight, and we were taking a look at that before we jumped on the show.
Yes.
It was giving Anika the heebie-jeebies.
A little anxious, yeah.
So what are some of the places that being a roofer takes you, aside from the roof?
Takes you everywhere. I've been to Lake Tahoe, Reno, a little town up in Nevada called Winnemucca. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, it's literally worldwide. You could literally go anywhere. Like, there's crews out there in, like, New Jersey and stuff like that, too.
Good thing New Jersey also has roofers. Cause, is there like a cool place in Vegas that specifically that you've worked on or been to?
All the casinos, man. I think one of my most memorable spot was at the very peak of New York.
Okay.
They have I believe it's called I think it's like that. What was it called? It's like I don't know what that building is called, but I was at the very peak of it, man.
Like the
The
Chrysler
Empire-
Building,
or the
Empire
Chrysler?
State Building?
The Empire State Building.
Oh,
There you go.
my
Yes,
goodness.
yes. It was pretty cool, man. It was such a rainy day too. Like, I never been up that high. I believe it's a little higher than the stratosphere. So it was pretty cool.
Goodness.
That's right.
Is there not like a lightning warning for roofers?
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely.
No, you got ready to tell a story about a roller coaster. I saw something on your page too that, I got a little motion sick. If you could tell us a little bit about that roller coaster experience up there on the roof.
Yes. So as a roofer, I work in the service department, and we do a bunch of patches on roofs.
Yeah.
Mostly on casinos. We be like literally anywhere. Like the other day, I was like underneath the roller coaster at New York, and like there's like people screaming and
Oh,
just
my
like they
goodness.
just see us. It's pretty cool.
That's right.
Like thinking, what is this guy doing here?
Exactly.
Well, Trip, dude, you're still a pretty young guy. To have 5 years of roofing experience alone already is pretty impressive. And jumping back almost 5 years, maybe even before that, we met you probably 4.5 years ago.
Yes.
And our first project was the YMCA Dreamer Lab. And that's
Yes.
when me and you first met each other. And I could tell that you were a roofer because you jumped right up on that scissor lift and had absolutely no fear of heights and were ready to jump up on that. Tell us a little bit about that experience and how we met.
Man, it was very unexpected. One of my good friends, his name is he goes by Dr. Ziso. He had invited me out to go paint with you guys.
Yeah.
But this was on a Saturday, and I was like, oh well, I'm at one of my family parties, but I could probably stop by tomorrow. And then sure enough, I stopped by the next day, and I think I finished that mural within like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so the first mural that Trippy and I were blessed to come together on was for a YMCA Dreamer Lab. And so that was put on by a company called Dreamer. They raised money through the Cox Communications Innovation Lab and with YMCA, and essentially were able to create a studio for kids to learn graphic design, music, video production, the whole 9 yards. And so what they really wanted to instill in this feeling was an artistic outlier, a good feel of a graffiti park, something to make people feel like that they were invested in. in that these kids were excited. And so that was our very first ever curated project with Graffiti Park. We got to reach out to 7 artists, and that was the very first time we met Trippy Pidgy. And Trippy has a style unlike any of the other artists that are in that Dreamer Lab. If you guys want to go to our website and see them. Trippy, tell us a little bit. How did you find your style? How did you come up with the name? How was Trippy Pidgy born?
All right, so during my sophomore year, I just fell in love with the art. Well, graffiti at first, and I don't know. I feel like I've always been like a lone wolf.
Okay.
I didn't really get into graffiti, but it was a big inspiration of what I wanted to do. Like pick up a spray can.
Yeah.
But sure enough, I had this project in my art class about mixing 2 animals together.
Okay.
So I did a couple like random animals, like an alligator and like a penguin or something,
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm gonna combine a pigeon and a human. I mean, even though a human's not an animal, but I'm gonna just do it, And sure enough, I googled something. It was like pigeon mask or something like that. And then sure enough, that first photo was like a guy with a hoodie, with the pigeon mask. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna draw that. And then sure enough, like I started it was like more of a realistic take, but I kind of took that and made it into like a character instead.
Okay.
And then it just stuck from there. And then I started doing the pigeon first, and then I got into doing the patterns. And I don't know, man, like something about the patterns really it was like I was like a moth to a flame, I just got attracted to it, and I just kept on doing it.
Yeah, I love it. I noticed like it's a kaleidoscope looking sort of pattern and system. Like, how do you come up with that? Like, how do you decide what colors, what shapes, like what you're going for? How do you channel that?
Honestly, I just at first it would be a little more complicated back in the day, because I would try to figure out what color matches and what looks best with this kind of pattern or stuff like that. But as the year goes by, I'm like, man, every other color matches. It's like I stopped kind of forcing it, and I just let it flow. And I mean that's just what kind of took over. Just letting it flow. What feels right, what doesn't, and just going from there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So if you're curious about the patterns we're talking about, the style is called like sacred geometry.
Sacred geometry, yes.
Like flowers of life, different things like that.
Yes.
And so is that something that, as you mentioned the moth to flame, were you just Pidgey before you met the patterns?
It was like literally right after, dude.
So it was very quickly Trippy Pidgey.
Yes. So exactly. So I was Pidgey, right? And then I picked up the patterns, and obviously patterns are very trippy, so I just combined the two.
Yeah.
I wanted to create something very unique and different. I feel like using my name, my name is always going to be a part of what I make, right? So I want to make something that's like unique and catches someone's attention.
Yeah.
If you say Trippy Pidgy 3 times in a row, you're gonna get it stuck in your head.
Trippy Pidgy, Trippy
Yeah.
Pidgy.
You're
appear.
literally Trippy in my phone.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. I mean, a lot of people just know me by Trippy, man. That's okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
So your very first pattern, can we talk about that? What was the
Yes.
first pattern you tried? Do you remember?
Yes. I don't. I've been trying to figure out what it's called, but it's like a white pattern.
Interesting.
okay.
Yes. Yes. I have it right here on my tattoo. Actually, I have this pattern right here.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And so
check it
for
out.
people that
This
are
one right
just
here.
listening over,
Ah,
it's
I
almost
see.
like a like the Kobe phenomenon,
Yes.
like Nike logo
Yeah,
almost,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
Some like Minecrafty
yeah.
vibes.
For you millennial plus, it's like a Tetris in
Okay,
the
there you
shape of
go.
a T.
Now we're talking.
Yeah,
that's nice.
shape of a T, shape of a Y,
cube, a Y.
It's like a
Yeah.
three-dimensional.
3-dimensional Y.
Candy
Tetris
crushers
thing.
as well.
And so
Okay.
then did you just try with that one pattern, or did you immediately start pulling in multiple different kinds
Yes,
of
so
patterns?
I started doing that pattern first, and then I had got this sketchbook that had a grid on there,
Okay.
and which made it even easier for me to just do that pattern, and then just slowly figuring out that these patterns could create different ones.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
with just different angled outlines and stuff like that. It would create a different pattern, and I just got obsessed.
Yeah. And how did you learn that? Is it through using on like the grid system on a paper, or was it math related?
So no, honestly, I use no math, but
Good.
I don't know how that's possible.
It's funny. That's my
I
whole
just
style too.
so with this grid piece of paper, I only had like 3 sheets of paper in there,
Okay.
and
Gotta get you a bigger notebook.
I literally used that to my advantage, and then when I ran out, I was like, all right, so I'm gonna just start using my regular paper, right? And then it was like, it's just blank paper, so I just started freehanding it.
Okay.
And then when I started freehanding it, I was like, oh, don't even need the grid, you know? It's like, this is cool, this is relaxing, this is nice, and I'm gonna keep doing it.
Nice.
A natural.
And so it started out all on paper, all on graph paper.
Yeah.
When did you change mediums, or when did you want to go into something different?
Oh man, it was like during my senior year.
Okay.
So
2 years into the journey.
Yeah, literally
Wow.
2 years into the journey, I was already like, I started like slowly gravitating to like Sharpies and stuff like that, and like colored pencils, whatever I would get my hands onto, because you know, back in the day I didn't really have money, you know, like I would like use the school to for my advantage, and use all the colors that they had, you know. I sucked at using paint, like paint brushes and stuff like that. It was not like, I did not want to do that.
Yeah.
So I just used Sharpie. It was way easier, and then it just worked out for me. And sure enough, after that, I started, like right after high school, I started using what's it called, paint markers.
Okay.
Nice.
Acrylic markers, Poscas actually, Poscas, Decos, and like Molotov ones.
Okay.
And, excuse me. And just from there, I kind of like I kind of envisioned the paint markers onto a wall, and I kind of like, I try to make it seem like the paint marker was a spray can.
Okay.
And then I started layering my my work, and then I just imitated that onto a wall, and then sure enough, it just worked out.
Yeah.
And did you develop your own style from the jump, or did you have any like mentors or anybody that was teaching you how to?
No, I had no mentors. I had nobody teaching me. I just wanted to have fun. You know, I just wanted to do something that made me feel at ease, you know, relaxed, and, you know, keep my mind busy.
Yeah. What Trippy is describing is called an autodidact. It's somebody that can literally teach themselves anything based on, like, by breaking down basic things into smaller segments that they understand. And so, Trip, dude, like, I'm in awe of some of the works that you're able to create, and especially some of the layers and the patterns, and continually changing that craft and manipulating that into ways that have not been seen before. And so, it's really cool if you look out, you know, at specific sacred geometry patterns and stuff. There's a lot of individual ones, and when you look at Trippy stuff, it's a compilation of almost all of these different kinds of patterns, and it's so cool.
That's incredible. And it's amazing, too, that even though the school was a resource for you, that was the first, you know, inspiration that you had, this particular school project. It was almost like you taught the teacher in the end, right?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, at the end of the day, the teacher was a coach, and he was just filling in for the art teacher, because
Really?
they just left, you know. And I mean, shout out to that guy for like giving me that assignment, because I don't know, maybe I would have never done it.
And
you know,
you're living proof that it's an
Yes,
important thing.
yes.
Yeah.
So then your first spray paint piece, what was that one? Walk me through that one.
Okay, so sure enough, like right after high school, I got my first job. I was a dishwasher at Eggworks.
Okay.
And whatever cash I got, I would buy spray paint. You know, spray paint's still pretty expensive. It was like, I would get the cheapest one. You know, I didn't want to use Rust-Oleums either. I wanted to use like a different kind of like more professional, like more, I don't know. I just gravitated to like Montanas and Iron Lags, and, you know, all those spray cans.
The low pressure.
Exactly. And like I said, I would like literally buy 2 at a time every like 2 weeks, man. And I just started collecting up until one of my my milk crates was filled. I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, I started doing it in my mom's backyard. I did my first mural in my mom's backyard.
Wow. That's incredible.
And you're downplaying it, because the size of this mural for a first mural is, you know, I can't say certain words. It's massive.
Wow.
It is absolutely massive. It's 14 feet tall, if I'm not mistaken. He was up on a ladder for it.
Yes, that's like a different location. My first one was like my mom has like this backyard bathroom shed,
Okay.
and I believe it's like maybe like 11 feet by 8 feet wide.
Wow.
I mean, it's still pretty big. That one right there, yes, yeah, that one. That's my first one.
That's incredible. Wow. If I could describe this to you, it's like I don't know.
And then
like a trippy Tetris, for you millennials, of course.
yeah, when I first did that, I just looked back and I was like, I got it. It just clicked. I'm like, perfect. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos about like graffiti, like even though I don't do graffiti, I would see their techniques and how they would manipulate the spray can.
Okay, yeah.
And I just did it, and it just clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a alternate approach to it, just because you, for lack of a better, you weren't very involved in graffiti and that kind of culture, and you always wanted to take it to something that was so much more and turn it into art.
Yes.
And I think that's can't be lost on the people listening and some of our listeners that actually go out and do graffiti, because there is that option to change it from a lifestyle into a full art form and a career, for lack of a better term.
Definitely.
Right. And balancing your daily career and this art side in your art world, how have you been able to do that, with all that you have to do during the day? And let me tell you, if you go on his page, by all means, if you would like to check that out, it's unbelievable, the heights and the work that you're doing on your day job. I know the emotional stress might take a little bit from that,
Yes,
from
definitely.
that artistic ability. So how do you balance the two?
I'm gonna be real honest. It took a while to figure out, because just recently I became I just became 10 months sober off of alcohol.
That's incredible.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I stopped smoking too,
That's nice.
and the way I see it, I just eliminated all of my bad habits, and then invested all that time into being a parent, and then being a roofer, and then being an artist.
Yeah. No better answer than that, my friend.
Yeah, that was good.
Do you have any tips or tricks to other people that are also pursuing a full-time art career and also have other responsibilities that they need to take care of? Is any words of advice for them?
Yeah, I'd say just keep pushing. Honestly, I mean, it's okay to have a day job and pursue your dreams. You can still do it. I'm doing it.
Living proof.
I'm living proof, and I'm gonna continue doing it as well. It's like I would love to be a full-time artist, right? But I gotta take care of my family. I gotta take care of my family, not only my family, myself, and not gonna lie, I'm a pretty expensive guy. I like to eat out.
There
We
you
can see.
My God.
Yeah. And I think it goes back to a couple things that you were saying. So first off, we were talking a little bit before the show that you're the first artist that we're chatting with, that we're having on, that isn't a full-time artist in different capacities, right? And I think that's some people might look at that as like, oh, okay, you're striving to get there, but I think it's important what you just said earlier about you started doing art because it made you feel good. It was mindless. It was
Yes.
it was something that was a form of expression. And I really loved your example of like a moth to a flame of like, oh, these two things like came in as a synergy. So I think it's important for other artists out there, and you just said it's okay to have a day job. Like, it's okay for art to be that passion, that outlet.
Yeah.
And then if you find it paying some bills or maybe some of the things that you want to buy in life, like, that's awesome too, right? And so I think it's important to chart your own pathway of however you want to do it.
Yeah, definitely. The way I see it too, man, I'm still young.
Right.
I don't. I feel like a lot of people try to rush that dream.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm all about the how do I say it? I'm all about the Sorry, I got a little brain fart.
More about like, the journey.
Enjoying the
It's all
journey.
it's literally all about enjoying the journey.
Yep.
I do see myself at the end of that tunnel, but I know it's gonna take me a little while, and
Yeah.
that's honestly okay with me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Because
That's great to hear.
I believe in myself that I could reach to that point in my life, and I just gotta keep on doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, man.
You do,
So-
man, and I'm sorry to cut you off on that, but it's awesome because we've even seen you start to verge and change some of those styles and bring in a couple of different eclectic styles as well. There was one down at a nightclub on Fremont Street called Zai, and he did, I guess technically it was a peacock, but it was
yeah,
really
cheating on the pigeon.
Yeah.
absolutely, and he's even changed that into over at Arturo Cambiero Elementary School. He did an entire Japanese traditional style dragon all in the patterns in the backside too, and the way that you just can take different pieces and morph your style into them to make completely new ideas is just really impressive. And I encourage anybody to go and check those out on Instagram and see exactly what I'm talking about to bring a little bit more clarity to the pictures.
Yeah. And so, and one thing I've noticed through your work is like, and just for those just listening, I'm scrolling through Trippy's Instagram and just seeing that I was able to pull up that first mural all the way up to the work he's working on now. And it's cool to see your style evolve, and then you pick certain patterns that you like, or maybe, you think looks better in a certain place. But another thing that stands out to me is you got a lot of different types of canvases here, not just walls.
Yes.
Namely, quite a few shoes, and I will shamelessly, proudly say that I rock some Trippy Pidgy customized Vans every so often. So when did you start saying, okay, I went from the graph paper to the paper to I want to do spray paint to, okay, I got all these skills, I'm going to start doing shoes and customizing those?
It actually started with shoes before I even did murals.
Really?
Yeah, in my senior year, we had this art project with Vans, and they had invited like maybe 500 schools
Okay.
to customize shoes, and I think we got like 38 out of 500.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
we were placed 38. Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was really cool, man. I mean,
Yeah, you got like Air Force Ones in here.
yes,
Vans, New Balances,
Balances.
Oh, yeah.
cleats.
cleats.
So-
Yeah,
We've got a pair of forces at the headquarters that are going to come your way, my
let
friend.
me know.
Yeah, they've been sitting in my
Absolutely.
office
Just
for,
waiting for you.
for 3 months, but we're not.
It's pretty funny too, cause like my cousins would like give me some like beat up old Air Forces, right? And I'll make them look brand new, and I'm like, man, I made these beaters into heaters.
We're taking that one. I love
Yeah.
it.
Awesome.
I
That's
love
good.
it. Is there anything that you're working on right now that you're really proud of? You want to tell us a little bit about?
Yes, I am working on a new series. I call it A New Vision.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been doing a new canvas every month this whole year. It's like this whole year I've been sober, and I'm very proud of myself about that. I
We are too, man.
I really took that step and like changed my life for the better. My family deserved the best version of myself.
That's right.
That's great.
And every month I've been doing a new canvas, and it's been fun. It's fun like being able to pick up canvas, and I'm using paint brushes now, and like Home Depot paint,
Okay.
and I love it. It's so relaxing. Like I threw away all my markers. I'm like, I don't need this, I gotta step it up.
I love it. I love it.
Is there anything about it? I mean, I can talk about it, but I would love to have you share like what specifically about the artwork itself. You talked a little bit about like what's driving that artwork from like what you've been doing this year, but what about that artwork is a new vision compared to stuff you've done in the past?
Well, the stuff that I've done in the past, I feel like it's been like more crazy, kind of all over the place, but clean. So now what I'm doing is like I'm taking one pattern, and I'm each section of a pattern I'm like doing like different gradients of color, and it goes from like dark to light, so it fades into a color. But I use about like 8 or 9 different colors in there, and it just looks really nice. It pops, and it looks even more three-dimensional without having to use like layering different like designs
I see.
on a solid background.
Or to even have to outline them after all of
Yeah.
it's been
Yes,
down.
it doesn't even need an outline.
And are all of these canvases, do you prep them all black? Is that a part of it?
No, actually, I'm doing white first. Just so the color could pop out more.
Oh, okay.
Instead of having to do more layers because
Right,
it's a
right,
black
right.
background.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So do you have you're working on this new vision. Do you have any mural projects or anything else coming up?
I I got this this new dentist spot. Hopefully, I mean, I already got it, but it's like I still gotta do like sketches and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's called the Smile Squad over there on
Okay.
over there on Sahara and Nellis.
Okay. So you're bringing out some smiles.
Yes.
Always.
That's good.
You got a
That's
smiling
good.
in here,
It's
my
funny
friend.
because you know, when Dan and I go to other schools and we talk about what are you looking for, it's very telling when they've seen one of your pieces because they're like one of the trippy things. It's got a bunch of patterns or whatever, and it's so cool to have, as Dan was mentioning earlier, you've kind of charted your own pathway in terms of, you know, what that style looks like. So it's awesome, you know, for Dan and I to go into those spaces and hear people say and request that style by name, you know, and there's only one Trippy Pidgy out here. So it's a lot of fun for us.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, and no diss or no offense to anyone who can do, there's a bunch of different artists that can do letters, and that's cool too.
Yeah.
You know, or scenes or whatever, but it's really cool that you've kind of charted your way into that
Absolutely.
journey.
Yeah, definitely, man. You gotta pave your own way.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and it's also cool for, you know, just to keep shouting out Pidgey. He's got a whole bunch of different merch opportunities. He's got gym shorts, hoodies. Dan and I are always swagged out and trippy stuff. We're dripping with the trip.
Yes, sir.
And you've got works in all different parts of town, schools, Area 15, your future
Palms Casino.
your future dentist.
Yeah, future dentist
Potentially,
spot.
you know,
It's amazing.
potentially.
So Trippy, as we're talking about all these projects and as we're kind of looking back at your wonderful art journey, are there any projects that stick out specifically, or are there any that made you feel something different than all the others?
Oh man, it's our first trip out of town, man, Pennsylvania.
Yeah?
Oh man,
Tell me
yeah.
about it. What happened?
What didn't happen, man? I freaking. It was fun. It was real fun. Like right after high school, one of my first thing was like, what am I gonna do? You know, I didn't have a job. I didn't know where to steer myself to.
Yeah.
But one of the first thing I told myself is that I'm gonna be painting walls and I'm gonna be traveling the world. And just by that first trip, it really opened my eyes and made me really grateful for that experience. You know, because it's just, I feel like a lot of people deserve, you know, to do that once in their lifetime. You know, maybe once, 100 times in their life. It's awesome.
And as we wrap up on that note, perfect transition, we've been lucky. We've done 2 jobs out of town, the one that Trippy's mentioning out in Berwick, Pennsylvania. And we've done another one out in outside of Boston, and Trippy's gone with us on both of those trips.
That's awesome.
Because one of his unique style, but more importantly, because of the man that he is.
Amen.
And we appreciate you coming on today and telling us a little bit about your journey, your story, man. It's awesome. We're super proud of you as friends, as colleagues, whatever we are. But anyhow, that being said, if anyone listening is interested in finding your work or your merch or anything like that, where can they find you?
Find me on Instagram, man. Trippy Pidgy, TrippyPidgy.
Trippy Pidgy.
All one word. Only got an Instagram. That's it.
And you'll find it pretty quickly. If you're interested in learning more about Graffiti Park, you can find us also on Instagram at graffitipark_LV. And if you can't find Trippy and you're still interested in finding him, you can find him on our stuff as well. Dan, Anika, Israel, it's been a pleasure.
Guys, another version, Graffiti Park Radio. This one, the trip of the drip. The drip of the trip.
And our weenuses were touching. Knees. I guess our weenuses may have touched. Anyways, have a great Sunday,
Warmed
whatever
my
day
heart.
you are in. We'll see you later.